Hello everyone and welcome to Longer and Harder, the show on the internet where we take a subject and we go deeper. How are you all doing today? Hello Dennis, how are you? Hello MLG Blazer, hello Evan, hello Tech God, hello the guy, how are you? Longer and Harder what? Longer and Harder what is a good question. We don't know what we're going to talk about today. um, Play my stand-up instead of this copyright-free music. Send me a thing. Send me a link. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll listen to it first just to make sure we're all couth there. But longer and harder. What we don't know what we're gonna talk about yet. So we'll get there. We'll get there in a second or two. Sorry, I have a cat on me. Who wants to definitely be the star of wants to be the star of the show as soon as he fucking sits down. There he is. All right, we'll try to get the camera on Hobbs, who is, like I said, obviously he's the star and not me. So there we go. Sorry for the there we go. Look at that cutie. Look at that cutie. So today we have a show for you of things and the stuff. Let's see if we can go on to there. Nope, that is there, but we're gonna do housekeeping first, I think. So yeah, welcome everyone to the thing that we do on these days that we do them on. I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful Mother's Day if you are one of those. Not that a lot of ladies watch the show, but if you are, go call your mom. If not, go call your mom. Say Happy Mother's Day to them. I haven't done that with my mom yet, so should probably get on it. But yeah, and other than that, we have housekeeping. We really don't have a lot of housekeeping today. There might be a video out hopefully soon. And just to sort of kick the hornet's nest some more. The next video is probably if you might want to skip it. Because it's gonna be on Rationality Rules, I think, and his latest thing. So that'll be fun. You're getting drunk before you talk to your mom? Yes. Hey Fletcher, how are you? So yeah, that'll be fun. Probably not, but it'll be fun. It'll probably get made soon. Once I'm done drinking. All right, and then what else housekeeping? I forgot to add it, but as you can see, we're still doing really well on our goal to get ourselves a new computer. Thank you everyone who's donated. Big thank you to Christ Puncher, who isn't here right now, and big thank you to Microorganism, who's also not here right now. Look at that. For super chats last week. In case you don't know, super chats are a thing, and you can get free boobs, and I will read your comment, and it goes to buying a new computer for me, so that things can be less laggy, and life can be better because computers make things better. So if you would like to help out, go ahead and do a super chat. Big thank to my patrons who always help out by being patrons and stuff. You guys are awesome. Also, another sort of housekeeping announcement, if you see him on social media or wherever, go say happy birthday to Microorganism. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Microorganism. I know you can't watch this because you're with family and stuff, so have fun. Why are you petting your cat like Inspector Gadget villain? Because that is the only way to pet a cat. That really is just the only way that petting cats ever works is is like an Inspector Gadget villain. Was it Dr. Claw, Mr. Claw, something Claw? Not Duck Claw, but something like that. All right. So with that said, we have ourselves a video options for today, and I forgot to make a thing. Let's see if Cloudbot is here or if he's still being a jerk like he was last week. Because last week he just wasn't helping out. But our video options for this week are The Truman Show by ODD TV, Debunking Flat Earth by Rob Skiba, AOC, and that is the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez by David Icke. He's going to give us his opinion on that. Oh, he got tired of me. Climate Change Denying Nonsense by... Oh, my camera got tilted. By Steven Crowder, and Alpha Males by Joe Rogan. It actually talks about a lot of other things besides alpha males, but that's where it starts. So that's probably where we'll start. Birth Control by Paul and Morgan, who are always a fun couple to talk about. And How to Write a Myth by Owen Benjamin, who's a I found him this week. He's racist, anti-Semitic asshole on the internet. So, you know, he talks about the Jews. So we'll probably talk about the Jews because the Jews are to blame for everything, apparently, you know. Because, you know. Because, you know. They are. Okay, so if I can actually get things to work here, we'll see if we can get a... get you on. Turn on CloudBot. Or don't, and then things just awkwardly sit here and stare at my computer. So you hopefully get a chance to do that. Okay, proof that cats are demons. Just say they are awful. I can't post links until you mod me, asshole. Can't post links until you mod me. Ha 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 ha. You're funny, CloudBot. Okay. We'll make CloudBot here, and then hopefully. We'll be able to start a poll. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if polls work today. If they don't, we'll do other things. So, there's CloudBot. So all you got to do is put an upside down I vote, and then the number you'd like to vote for. There are your options. We have a lot of good stuff. Shit. While you do that, I completely forgot we skipped beer of the week because there is no beer of the week. Because if you weren't here right before the show started, we have a wine of the week. So plug my own channel just a little bit here, because that's what I do. Because I'm a whore. It looks like votes are working. So yay, CloudBot is working. So this is a good way for you to vote. Right before the show started, we did my wife and I did a wine opening, wine box opening thing. I don't know. We got a bunch of bottles of wine. So we opened, not all the wines, but we opened the box and just kind of talked about some of them. It's from NPR's Wine Club. So we got a lot of really good wines and stuff from them. And at the end of the stream, we picked a wine to try out for today. So the chat picked this one. It's Old Grapes Considered, named after NPR's show called All Things Considered. So it's it's a Pinot Noir, 2017 Pinot Noir from California, if I remember right. Oakville, California. There's a note card in here somewhere. Here we go. And this is also why I didn't get a chance to like make the usual label for it and whatnot. So the second release of our Old Grapes Considered series. This fine California Pinot Noir comes courtesy of charismatic Frenchman something. Born to the historic vine village of something. These are all French names that I'm not gonna pronounce correctly. But it comes from Northern California, and it's a Pinot Noir, so it should be good. It overflows with ripe red fruit and subtle spice character. Ooh, so that'll be tasty, I hope. Oh, lots of voting going on. Look at that. I like it. I've heard this somewhere. Imagine that. And in case you're wondering, this goes well with turkey. Not turkey. They have a picture of a turkey, which is why I said turkey. With poultry and meaty fish. If you haven't heard the news about Pinot Noir, you're about to be delighted. It's one of the most food-friendly reds around. Enjoy this silky California star with meaty fish like plank, grilled salmon, poultry, try roasted turkey or duck, or even hearty vegetables fare. We love mushroom risotto. You could also sip a glass on its own. Pinot Noir makes a lovely red wine aperitif. So we'll pop this bad boy open and see if he's any good. I can't imagine that he's bad. I am a sucker for red wines from California. You give me a red one from California and I will probably love it. Especially if it's a Zinfandel. You get me a Zinfandel from California and I'm gonna love the Zinfandel regardless of anything, because I am just a sucker for those. Also, I'm probably gonna pour this all over myself because I suck at pouring. I have this lovely. This is my wife got this lovely like pourer thing that's like a mermaid. It's kind of neat. It makes R&D spill wine less often. So we're gonna use it because otherwise we will make a bet about it. You should go get that white one. No whites. We don't drink whites. That's we don't talk that way in this household. Wow, this thing pours really slowly. That's okay. I'm a bit of a wine racist, and I don't like white wines. I really only like red wines. Not that white wines are bad. They're not bad. I'm just racist. The white wines can be really good. And in certain conditions, they're fine. You know, nice hot summer day outside by the pool. Always good. No, we're not gonna no Rieslings. No. I will fight you on that one. I'm clipping you saying you're a sucker. Okay. The poll is going on. Yeah, so poll's still going. Ooh, it does have a good smell. It does have, you can smell the spices. Oh, that's neat. I like that. Oh, that's delicious. I can't tell what fruits they are. I'm not that good at wine tasting. But there's definitely some fruits in there. I don't know what they are though. The mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is good too though. Oh, I like it. I like it. That's a good one. So, highly recommend this one. I don't have a wine scale. Cuz I think it's a good solid 6. It's a good solid 6. Maybe a 7. It's a good solid 6 or 7. Okay. You can no longer vote. Voting is done. Let's see how our poll has done for us today. We'll complete that. Hopefully. Maybe. Complete the poll. Poll completed. So, 4 was the most voted for option, with 40% of you voted for number 4, climate change. Ooh, Steven Crowder. I don't know how I feel about that. It isn't an election, but I can't vote. It's true. So, oh God, Steven Crowder. I don't want to talk about Steven Crowder. Legit do not want to talk about him. He's full of stupid. This video I found after... debunking. Okay, so after I think Potholer made a passing comment about this video, which is how I found it. People base their and then I didn't really watch it. I just watched the beginning of it, and he was saying a lot of the same stupid stuff that Steven Crowder always says about climate change. And in case you don't know who Steven Crowder is, this is Steven. Oh, you can't see him. We'll get the video up. Turn that off. Get the video up. Look at this professionalism. One of these days, we are going to set this up like the first time around, so that it works. Where are you? VLC debunking. There we go. This is Steven Crowder. He is a quote unquote comedian. He's incredibly right wing. Like, that's not meant to be a pejorative. He just is. He's incredibly right wing, nutbaggery. He thinks that anyone who's left of Obama, anyone who's left of Joe Biden is like a fucking socialist, pretty much. He thinks that Obama is like far too of a leftist, even though Obama is just, very center. So that's kind of where we're at. Glad you had the chat. Well, thank you for letting me know. I always do like having to him. He's a comedian. I don't know if he's a comedian. Isn't right wing. He's a man child. We are getting very close to that new Mac. 70-some%. We are really close. We're like, and I just noticed my my AdSense, which is the thing that pays you from YouTube. In case you don't know how YouTube things works, you only get paid when you make over $100 on ads, or in super chats and all that. That's when the money gets shipped to you. And so we hit that threshold, and so I should have like $113, $14-ish coming in, and that'll go straight into the saving it up for a new computer. So that'll be great. And also, if you don't know, I do double, not the ad revenue, but I do double donations stuff. I put in my money to do that so that we can buy a new computer sooner. So if you donate, you get free boobs. R&D will read your comment, and I will put in the exact same amount of money that you put in. I will put in from my own checking account into the piggy bank so that we can get closer to this new computer thing. Just buy a tower, CPU, GPU, RAM, and motherboard. Screw Mac. I know people don't like me, but I really do. I work better with Macs. It's fine. You will double a donation and make right now. I will. I mean, I can. I'm a little concerned about the fact that I said that, but I can double it. Like, I will pay in the same amount to you do, so your donation is doubled. Is pretty much what I meant to say there. So if you do a $5 super chat, I'll put in $5 of my own, and you will have a $10 super chat pretty much. So yes. That's more or less how that happens. Max are for people with more money than brains. Exactly. Which is why I'm asking for money. Oh goodness. Hello, Brian Rotation. Hello, double entendre. Oh, that's a great name. Double onto Andre. That's fucking love it. That's great. Hello, Hugo. How are you? I hope you're having yourself a great day. Okay. So Steven Crowder is this guy. He's an idiot. Fun fact, he was supposed to have a debate with Potholer like a year or two ago. He was supposed to have a debate with him. And like they emailed back and forth, and Potholer was like, hey, we should do this debate thing. And they set it up or Potholer set it up like, I'll be at Magic Sandwich Show and this thing, whatever's. And Steven Crowder never shut up because he's a fucking coward. So that was fun. And then instead of having the whatchamacallit, because the debate didn't happen, Potholer just sat there and talked to, like, answered fan questions pretty much. And so you could call in the Magic Sandwich Show and talk to him, and I got to talk to him, and it was fucking amazing. And I entirely was just like big fangirl all over him, and I stuttered my way through that conversation, and I did poorly, but it was amazing to get to talk to him. It was great. My name is just something DJ Khaled rapper said when trying to describe a line he did in a song. Oh, do not know who that DJ is, but it's a really good name. Okay, so we're gonna do a little recap. Or, I don't know what this is. Crowder thinks himself as a comedian, and I'm sure you'll see why he's really not here in a second.
People base their lives on your projections, and it turned out that...
I'm going to turn that down just a little bit because that hurt my ears a tad, and I can only imagine that it hurt yours as well. He was totally trying to say double entendre.
None of it was true. You painted a doomsday climate change scenario, farmers, city planners, taxpayers. None of it was correct. No. So you can't just admonish them now. You can't just look down your nose at them now and say, well, I can't. Why wouldn't you believe us, you silly bumpkin? Well, because of you. I don't believe you.
Hey, isn't he so funny? He's such a funny guy. That was hilarious. He's hilarious. Not everybody has Al Gore. I get the feeling we're going to do the Al Gore thing because actually it will be Al Gore and it'll be some other random ass person's opinion, right? And it might actually be, I think in this one he might actually talk about like a particular doctor or scientist who actually like made predictions about the climate change, right? Climate predictions, but it was a single individual, not a paper, not a peer-reviewed study. It was an individual who, granted, is an expert in the field, who made like big predictions, but that's very different than what the scientific field is like. It's very different when someone in the field just sort of says things as opposed to like actually presenting a peer-reviewed paper and, you know, going through all the mathy bits and whatnots. And doing the research. That's two very different things, and I'm pretty sure that that's what Crowder is gonna try to take apart. Is this one scientist? I think that's this video.
Question of the day: was there can you pinpoint an exact moment when you started sort of tuning out the progressive left's climate change alarmism, or was it more of a gradual thing? Now, comment below. I do want to
comment below. Climate change sucks. It's happening. For a while, I thought you were Red's Rhetoric. Great job, above. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm not Red's Rhetoric. We have worked together on things, but I'm not Red's Rhetoric. Red's Rhetoric, I don't think he doesn't show his face. That's not his thing. We need a left-wing version of these people who only focus on one example of what they think is popular bias. Oh yeah. So this guy is okay. So. Climate change, yes. So climate change, the science on climate change is very strong. I think what was one of the studies that it's a meta-analysis. If you don't know what a meta-analysis is you take it's an analysis of all like the available peer-reviewed papers on a subject. So there was a meta-analysis on papers on climate change. So this wasn't. I know that it's often quoted. There's a study that's often quoted about like the consensus among climate scientists, which the consensus among climate scientists is still ridiculously high. It's like 98% of climate scientists agree that climate change is a thing and that it's man-made, but that's also it's an appeal to consensus, which I don't like. But I mean, it's right. It is an appeal to consensus, but it's an appeal to consensus of people who know what the fuck they're talking about. So it's not. I'm not sure that you can really say that it's a fallacy at that point. But whatever. And then we also have what's the other one? A meta-analysis of peer-reviewed papers on climate change. And that meta-analysis, so it's not about the actual scientists, it's not a consensus of the scientists, it's consensus on the science of climate change, and that one's at like 98% as well. So it's really high up there on how much of an agreement and how little of a debate there is on climate change, on whether it's one happening and two if it's man-made, and the consensus of the scientific papers is that it's real and it's man-made. So there we go. That's a thing. You need to work with creationists. I would love to work with creationists. Vadim is fucking awesome, and I really, God, if I ever did, I'd fangirl over him for like a while. Honestly, Creationist Cat, if you ever watch my videos, I would love to work with you, man. I think you're fantastic. You're an awesome creator. I'm one of his patrons. Just notice me, senpai. And I think a lot of what he does is really cool. He seems like a really great guy and really fun to work with. It would really be, it would be really fun to get to work with him on something. Exxon's personnel scientists are currently being sued for breaking non-disclosure agreements and telling the truth. They are not being sued for lying or defamation, but for breaking agreements, so that's obvious they're telling the truth. NDAs, I did not know that. I'm clipping you saying and tweeting that to him. Oh, please do. I do really love him. I do love Vadim. He went to MythCon, what was it, last year? Which he appeared in MythCon, and I was really tempted to go myself. Just like I'm not gonna get invited because I'm R&D and not Vadim. I was really tempted to just go so that I could be there and like support Vadim, because MythCon's a shit show, and I wish I'm sure that he needed support. And MythCon isn't very far from here, but tickets cost money, and I think I'm running out of vacation days, so I think I was running out of vacation days at the time, so I really couldn't do it. But one of these days. Okay. So with that said, we talked a whole lot about not Steven Crowder, because I don't want to talk about Steven Crowder.
Hear from you guys. Now, first off, let me preface this. Of course, I am in no way a climate change scientist expert, nor do I claim to be. That being said,
that right there is where you should have stopped.
Either are most of you. Yeah. Okay? And this is something that I would like to...
Woo! Why aren't you on my show, GeoStrebber? So, sorry. I'm going to pause everything because I just got a message from GeoStrebber, and I think it's fantastic. Fantastic news from GeoStrebber. So, if in case you don't know, Geo likes to play a lot of old school FPS, which who doesn't, right? Like the Dooms, the Dukes, the Duke Nukem's, the Bloods, the one with, what was the other one? I forget. The Hexens, the Heretics, all those fun games. And recently, last 2-3 days ago, there was a HD remake of Blood, done by Night Dive Studios, who's a great studio that does a lot of really cool things. They did Blood. Fresh Supply is the name of the remake, and apparently it will be getting a Mac OS, an OS 10 port soon. So in the near future, so that's gonna be cool. So that's just really good news. Also, Geo, why aren't you on my stream? So that's really cool. In case you want a Mac and want to play Blood, that's probably gonna be the best way to do it. You could just go make the connections you want. Go as a venture instead of a casualty. Casually. That's true. Could do a lot. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Steven Crowder, something. He looks. I was saying something about you. You look cranky. Oh yeah, you're not a climate scientist, so shut the fuck up. As I'm gonna now try to pretend to be one.
cover because it affects real people's lives. And I think a big reason why fewer people believe in climate change than before is because the media and the left today, let's ignore the science for a second. Put on the shelf for a second. That's gonna be a soundbite. Ignore this. I'm not saying ignore.
Just try running boot camp. I can run. I mean, yes, I could run boot camp. But I could also wait for it to be released on this and not have to mess with boot camp. So I mean, I have played the original Blood through DocsBox, which is also fun too.
No, just for a minute. Put on the shelf for a second.
Just a sec.
The media completely berates and mocks Americans who don't believe specifically in their current man-made climate change predictions.
That's a funny thing to say there. I like that. That you are hilarious. You're obviously a comedian, my friend. So that's kind of funny that you're like, oh, let's not talk about the science. But the media and people mock people for not believing in the science. Yes, people will mock you for being unscientific. Like, you're gonna get the same like, and I wish you were mocked more. I honestly wish that climate change deniers were treated in the same vein as anti-vaxxers and fucking flat earthers. I really wish you would. I really wish you had more people who gave you looks of like, you are definitely being a fucking idiot. You're stupid. Because the overwhelming evidence, just like vaccines and just like the shape of the earth, the overwhelming evidence is that it is what the science says it is, and you are going against that for political. That's the only thing I can think of, for political reasons. You're going against it, because it's not like you're going against it because you have science to back you up. Climate change denial jokes are so cringy at work. Always rebuke them. Yeah, I got into this art. God, it was a fucking shit show of an argument that I got into with one of my friends at the bar. Which, God, I need to stop drinking and arguing with idiots, as I call my friends. But we were. It started off talking about healthcare, and then it kind of derailed into talking about studies, and like because I brought up like, oh, there's all these studies showing overwhelming support for universal healthcare in the U.S. And all the other fun studies and stuff. And eventually it got into this whole talk about studies and what makes a good study, what makes a bad study. And it got to the point where he was like, he kept saying things like, he kept pretty much quoting like Al Gore, like Al Gore said that there wouldn't be any polar bears anymore, and yet he's wrong. And it's like, that's not a fucking study. But that's like the level that climate change denial is in. That if you are a climate change denier, you really should be treated in the same way that we treat flat earthers, in the same way that we treat anti-vaxxers. You're dangerous. I'm sorry if you're a climate change denier and you're on my channel watching this as a sub. I'm sorry that I'm calling you an idiot, but you are. Like there really is no excuse at this point to be a climate change denier. There really isn't. The science behind it is very, very solid. The only reason to be a climate change denier at this point is for political reasons, and that's really it. You should drink and argue with idiots live. Yeah. Idiots don't come on my show very often, which I really wish they would. I've offered my platform for like Marty Leeds to come on here. Orphan Red, I've offered to come on here. I'm trying to think of who else I've sort of thrown out offers, and they just kind of say no because I'm too mean and things like that. And that's really like, that's been kind of the excuse that I've always gotten, is I'm too mean to them, which I'm just probably right. I probably am too mean. But whatever. A few famous people have come out and said, I'm not convinced the earth is a ball, so I don't think even being a flat earther is looked down upon. Unfortunately, it's not as looked upon as it should be. The problem is that most do not have the courage of their conviction to come on. That is what I'm hoping is true, and it's like I understand that I am mean. I'm a jerk. But that's the excuse that I always get. So, but I get the feeling that it's really more of the cowardice part, honestly. What else? Oh yeah. You're right. There have been. I mean, to be fair, there was plenty of also famous people who are anti-vaxxers and climate change deniers. So yeah, and now flat earthers, I guess. Honestly, the flat Earth thing, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people, especially the big names who come out as flat earthers, especially and I think this is true of like the Jeranisms and the globe busters of the world, but then even bigger, I know there was a couple of football players that came out and said they were not football players, basketball players who came out and said they were flat earthers. I think a decent amount of that is attention driven. They say it because it's a hot topic in the Google algorithms, and they know that if you say, that if you're a college educated individual in playing basketball or whatever, and you say, I don't think I don't think there's enough evidence that the ball is round, or the earth is round, sorry, that they'll get, they'll be talked about for a couple of days in news, and people will be like, ha ha ha, look at this idiot. So I think a decent amount of it is attention seeking behavior rather than legitimate, I legitimately think the earth is flat. I doubt that happens, especially in bigger names. Hello, Jose. How are you? Welcome to the show. We're watching Steven Crowder. We're drinking wine today. We're not drinking beer. We're drinking wine today and talking about climate change and flat earth, apparently. Because, why not? But welcome. So there's no confusion because I can get flat earther would come on live with you right now. Honestly, if you can get a flat earther to come on here right now, I will stop this stream and we will start a debate stream. I have no problem with that. But I gotta it would be nice to get to talk to some of the some flat earthers every once in a while. They genuinely don't talk to me. Honestly, probably because again, because I'm kind of a jerk, and also mostly because I think they're afraid. I almost convinced I had a what's his name, Quantum Eraser, real close to coming onto the show once, but then he was like, he was asking me if I had a PhD, and he wouldn't debate me without having a PhD, and I asked him. No joke. I gotta find this comment. So it's under one of Professor Stick's videos, which is just lost somewhere. But no joke. He asked me if I had a PhD. I was like, no, I don't have a PhD. That's not there yet. And I asked him back, like, hey, do you have a PhD? Because, if you're going to ask me for one, to have one in order to debate you, like, do you have a PhD? Or, like, is this going to be an honest, like, a level playing field? And no joke, he said, I don't have one, but I could test out of at least 3. He could test out of PhD. I think he thinks that to get a PhD, you just go to school and then take a test at the end of it, and if you pass that test, they just give you a PhD, right? As opposed to like the how PhDs actually works, and you have to do research, and write a peer reviewed paper and defend it, and then do all this fun stuff, and then it's a very specialized field, and it's not like you just give you just get the college credits and then take a test. He's fucking idiot. Oh, the wine is making this show so good. Good, I'm glad. It's good wine. It is very good wine. Okay. Okay, let's listen to a little bit more Steven Crowder and drink some more wine.
So when it comes to deniers, I claim they're a problem.
When President Kennedy set us on a course for the moon, there were a number of people who made a serious case that it wouldn't be worth it. It was going to be too expensive. It was going to be too hard. It would take too long. But nobody ignored the science. Today's Congress, though, is full of folks who stubbornly and automatically reject the scientific evidence about climate change.
Not really.
I mean, yes. So there's a thing. I feel left out because I wasn't here from the beginning because you seem like an awesome guy. Aw, thank you. You're probably an awesome guy yourself. I mean, you're just a guy, but I'm sure you can put just an awesome guy on there as well. That's what college is. You're paying to take a test. College college, maybe. Like college, I could see college, like, you know, undergrad. I can see undergrad being like that, except that there really isn't like a test to graduate out of undergrad. But I could kind of see it, you know, you really are sort of learning to do a fairly broad spectrum of things. As you get higher up, it works a lot less like that. Like the more the higher up you go, you go into masters, you go into the other one, doctorate, right? You get more and more specialized, and so then it's less about passing the test and more about, you know, doing your research. And you do legitimately have to do research. Like, it's just, to get a PhD, you don't just get to take classes and then if you get a C above, you get a PhD. You have to do research into your field. I know this mostly because I run a lot of these research for the clinic that I work at. We have it's a teaching hospital, whatever they're called, right? There's about 5 or 6 PhD students who work with me every day, and so they're running their research, and a lot of the times we use the patients at the clinic to run research. I get to run a lot of their fun research, which is also fun. You get to run a lot of research. So I get to run a lot of their research on things. Same thing with the masters. A lot of the master students who go there, they also run their research out of the clinic. But they only if you're gonna like do a thesis or whatever. So I could see that for college, but as you get higher up, I would never say that for a doctorate. What state are you in? I am in the lovely flat state of Nebraska, where there is nothing but corn and cows. It's wonderful. How did you know his name is Justin? Whose name is Justin? Oh, just a guy? Is that who we're talking about? Okay. Okay, so we'll listen to it. Oh, Obama said a thing. Obama said a thing that was right, which is that a lot of congressmen are denying the science. That's not even like a political statement, honestly. Like I know that Crowder is going to make it into a political statement. That's not a political statement, Crowder. That's a factual statement. Like the science says X, and Congress is like, no, fuck you, science, you're wrong. I say this. And the congressman says evidence for how it's wrong is not like, look at all these other peer-reviewed studies that disagree with you. Look at this debate in the peer-reviewed research that shows that climate change is not what you think it is. No, it's plainly just, no, we disagree with you. So,
There's that Gallup poll that came out last month, which found 1 in 4 Americans is skeptical of all the effects of climate change and thinks this issue's been exaggerated.
Who gives a shit? Okay, so it turns out...
Who gives a shit is great. Yeah, so again, not I know this is gonna sound like I'm appealing to consensus, Steven Crowder, who's never gonna watch this video. But it really is the consensus that climate change is a thing and that it's man-made. And it's not a consensus among scientists, it's not just a consensus among Americans, it's not a consensus about the people who work in the field of climatology. It's a consensus of the research done into whether climate change is real and whether it's man-made or not. Like, it's a consensus of the peer-reviewed papers. Kind of fun drinking wine, talking about climate change. Significantly changes could make mini vineyards useless. It's true. Yeah. That was the thing. And I'm gonna talk about Ben Shapiro for a second too. That's the thing that the people kind of always joke about, but it's very true. How climate change is gonna kind of be ignored. Honestly, climate change is gonna be ignored until it's far too late for anyone to do anything about it. I'm incredibly jaded about the fact that we're gonna ever do anything significant about stopping or slowing down climate change within my lifetime, and which is like I think right now the scientific research says that within the next 50 years, if we don't make big changes to our carbon footprint as humans, climate change will be just irreversible, and we're just kind of fucked at that point. And I'm absolutely certain that we're gonna hit that mark, and we have made absolutely no changes. And when we do, and then when fucking all the coastal villages are being flooded, and all the rich people who have homes on those coastal villages have to evacuate those houses or lose are starting to lose money because whatever their vineyards are failing, because their houses are underwater, that's when people are going to be like, oh, we got to do something about climate change. We won't see that happen until the people who can actually make a difference are personally affected by this. Right now, the biggest effects that we have about climate change are like weird winters with lots of snow if you live in the Midwest, or extra tornado-y things or extra hurricanes, which again, those do affect people, but they tend not to affect the people who can actually do something about it. They tend to affect the assholes like me who all they can do is yell into the void of YouTube and hope for the best. So the Ben Shapiro thing, Ben Shapiro pretty much said when it was brought up that climate change will raise water levels and whatnot, he was like, "Oh, just sell your house then." I don't think he understands how supply and demand works. No one wants to buy a house that's underwater. You fucking idiot. Ben Shapiro's the worst. Did you see Ben Shapiro admit climate change isn't real, but is real, but it isn't a big deal? Of course he did. Okay. Kind of got behind on the things. Kind of funny. Yeah. The only question with climate change... Change your mind?
Yes, could I please have a glass?
Oh, okay. The wife wants a white. Are you here? You should tell us your opinion about it. Sorry. You should. Okay. Okay. So in case you
glass?
I mean, I can pour you one too. In case you missed this, like I said earlier, my wife and I did a opening of our NPR wines. Thank you, NPR. I love you. Please don't go bankrupt. I will promise to donate money to you. Can we donate money? We should donate money to them. I like them. And so we opened their All Grapes Considered wine, which is a Pinot Noir. We opened the box full of wine in a stream right before this stream. So this is the wine that the chat chose. So I thought it was pretty good. I gave it a solid 6-7 out of 10. So I'm gonna see what the Mrs. R&D has to say about this. You might.
I need to. Well, it's a process, honey.
It's a process. It's a process, guys.
Talk my way through it.
It's okay. Just use big words that don't actually.
Oh, it's melodious.
It's melodious.
It's gargantuan.
Gargantuan. That's a big word right there. And I'm gonna shift the camera over to you because right now it's just my there's my lovely wife. Isn't she the best? Look at how cute she is. Oh. Okay. We are also an obnoxious couple, which is a shame that we didn't get to watch Paul and Morgan because
We're obnoxious.
We are right now.
Well, at least for something.
So what do you think?
Hold on, it's still a process.
Oh my goodness.
You're supposed to sip it a couple times before you make up your mind. Well,
We're definitely wine snobs in this house. Sorry.
it's got a bite to it. It's full-bodied, and that's not actually... It's not. I'm not making that up. It is full-bodied.
Yeah.
I like it.
I couldn't pick out the fruits in it, but
I mean, I can't either.
Nah.
I know that people can, but I haven't had enough wine to compare.
Yeah, I haven't had enough fruits to know. That's just very obvious. There's a couple of ones that taste like bacon that are very obvious. They don't actually taste like bacon. They
Well,
smell smoky.
Smoky
They're smoky,
is
which
the
ends up
word.
being like bacony.
Yeah. I would like to just line up wines with what they say it tastes like, and just have like strawberries and cherries and what is that one thing that you said earlier? Cassis.
Oh yeah,
I
cassis.
thought that was just a color. I didn't know that was an
I don't know.
actual fruit.
Apparently it's a thing.
Well,
Spice? I don't know.
now I need to find that and line it all up so that I can actually learn what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I mean, I like it.
All right.
I feel like this is something you should be drinking with food, though.
I could see that. The description said you could drink it on your own, though. So
I don't know. I don't.
That's what the
agree,
card
but
said.
That's again. I am not a vintner. What is the sommelier?
Sommelier.
Sommelier. Yeah, I like it.
Awesome.
NPR.
There you go. Thank you, NPR. That was some great
All right,
wine. All right, bye, sweetie.
Wait, no, you have to. Well, I'm gonna take.
We're gonna take
actually
more
gonna
wine. Okay.
Fill up my glass. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so there we go. We have two good votes from Mr. and Mrs. R&D. Kind of really like your wine, NPR. So thank you. Yes, Dex, we are doing your video. The Steven Crowder one. Jesus fuck. We haven't actually gotten all that far into it because, well, a minute and a half, which is pretty good, I guess. Almost 2 minutes. Just because I keep, wine's way more important. One out of 20 people that make under $30,000 a year will move every year. Do you think they're moving to luxury, or do you think they're moving out of necessity, or maybe a pay cut? Yeah. But I don't think they own I don't think they own beach houses. Fucking Ben Shapiro. Okay. Thank you very much, Just a Guy. I like that. Thank you. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Okay.
That Americans, it's actually dropped by about 4% in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Americans who believe in man-made climate change. So let me explain to you why I think this might be the people. Let's again, we're putting the science on the shelf for a second.
But that's the important part, you fucking idiot.
Totality of the science.
Right.
What does matter, I think, with a lot of Americans, if we're going to berate and admonish them, is a lot of these Americans live in Middle America. Okay,
Yeah.
particularly in the Great Lakes states. And this is something I lived through.
A lot of Americans live in... You don't know how populations work, do you, my friend? You really, really don't know how... A lot of Americans do not live in the middle of America. The middle of America has like no one there. Is somebody who lives in the middle of America? Nobody fucking lives here. That's not how populations work. I should find you, and maybe I can. I'll find you a population density map, and it's a lot of Americans live on the coast. Because that's what we do. A lot of Americans live on the coast. A lot of Americans do live around large bodies of water, rivers. You'll see that, most of the big cities are either on rivers or lakes, which makes sense, again. Is he seriously celebrating people not believing in asteroids? He is. He's really not. So this idea that most Americans live... or a lot of Americans, for that matter, live in the middle of America is just wrong. Like, I know the middle of America is really big, but it's also very thinly populated. You don't even know what the fucking country population looks like.
Yes, I'm from Michigan. The alarmism at that point, people were scared to high heaven by the climate change progressive left, that the lakes were going to dry up very quickly.
Lake Michigan, when measured just a few weeks ago, was at its lowest depth in any measured time in recent history. What we're seeing in global warming is the evaporation of our Great Lakes. It's a scary thing.
Okay, so your argument, Steven Crowder, is that we should ignore the science, listen to random senator number A here. What's your name? Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, right? From I don't even know if Dick Durbin is still a senator or whatever, right? So we should shelve the science so that we can listen to random senators instead, and that's why climate change denial is on the rise. Well, I guess you're right. God, I just realized that you're right, Steven Crowder. People are, in fact, shelving the science for now, so that they can instead listen to senators who aren't scientists, who aren't climate whatever. I'm pretty sure Dick Durbin here has absolutely zero peer-reviewed papers out there. And then because of that, people are denying climate change. And I think you're right. I think you are right that because people are fucking shelving the science and listening to senators, they are denying climate change. I finally realized this, that I 100% agree with you on that. Which is why you're a fucking idiot, because that's exactly what you want to do. That's what you are doing. You are just like, oh no, I'm gonna shelve the science, listen to this senator, and this senator, he said the Great Lakes were gonna be evaporated in 10 years, whatever the fuck he says, right? And then he was wrong. Yeah, he probably was, because he's a fucking senator and not a climatologist. That's not his job. Even if he was a climatologist, let's just pretend for a second that he was. Somehow this was Dr. Dick Durbin, climatologist, whatever, right? even if he was that, and if you were to make this prediction without it actually being out of a peer-reviewed paper, you'd still be wrong in listening to him rather than the peer-reviewed research. God, I'm angry at you now. I am angry at you. Okay. Senators are not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. They're not. Even, like I'm not even going to take sides here. Like, he's a Democratic senator. He's probably still an idiot about climate change. Like, you don't have to be a Republican senator to be an idiot about climate change. Democratic senators can be idiots about climate change just because they and I probably align on the fact that it's actually happening doesn't mean that they're not idiots about it. Doesn't mean that they don't make mistakes about it. And again, even scientists will make mistakes about it. But the fact that you want to listen to them, the senators, rather than listening to the peer-reviewed research on the matter is disgusting, Crowder. It really is.
He also enjoys a good leisure suit. So, and here we have an article from USA
He's such a comedian. It's so funny, Crowder. It's so funny.
Today. I remember this article. I think it was in 2012, 2013. They said it would take decades of rain,
Consistent rain.
Heavy rain, just to return to normal. Okay, it took 2 years. 5-6 years later,
record levels.
Record levels. Here's something I want people.
I know this is obviously edited for, highlights of your show, right? And so it would be nice, and I know you're not going to do this, Steven, and I know because I know what your audience are pandering to. It would have been nice if you actually had the article to show, like you show something. You show like the tiniest little clip here. See if I can find it. You show the tiniest little. There we go. Oh gosh, no, go back. Oh, I hate you, computer. No, I don't.
Record levels.
Record levels. Here's
No, go back. I want to see what he actually shows.
decades of
There we go. So you show this clip. It would have been nice to, and I'm fairly sure that you don't have it in the description of your video. It would have been nice if you did. It would have been nice if you actually shared the whole article, rather than this one clip of it. But whatever. So I don't even know what this is supposed to, like, because this isn't even the article that you stated. Like, you stated one thing, which was that it would take whatever years and years of rain, like 10 years or something, to be able to refill the Great Lakes, right? And it happened in like 2 years, right? That's what you said. It would have been nice if you would have shown that article, the article that says it will take 10 years to refill it. That would have been nice. It would have also been nice if you would have used a peer-reviewed paper that said it's going to take several years for it to be filled up, instead of USA Today. All of these things would have been nice and would have made you more credible, but instead, the thing that you showed does not actually line up with the thing that you are saying. You are saying that there's an article out there, unnamed article by unnamed whatevers, right? Out there that says that the Great Lakes will take 10 years to fill up, and yet you show me this thing that says that the Great Lakes have their lowest water level on record. And it says nothing about it predicting how long it's going to take to fill up. It just says that it's very, very low. The lowest on record, apparently. So you can't even show me the very thing that you are talking about, Steven. Okay. We're gonna take a pause here for a second while I go use the restroom. Get some more wine, and then we'll be back with some more Steven Crowder, which is painful. But till then, enjoy some fan art. I might have added new fan art by MLG Blazer 420. There might be some new fan art in there. I don't remember if I had I don't remember if I did it or not. But enjoy some fan art from myself and other people. And enjoy some copyright free music. I'll be back in a little bit, and I'll see you all in a bit.
take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate. No control over where we go, but we don't care to know. Ignorance is bliss. Your tears are gone, and they drifted back from where they came, and they will not be missed. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate.
Oh, right, everyone. And we're back. A thing. Oh, where's the thing? There it is. All right, we're back. We're going to listen to more Steven Crowder doing Steven Crowder-like things, which I'm sure won't be obnoxious at all. I kind of forgot what he was talking about before I left. Kind of don't want to go back to it, but we'll try. Ooh, I'll start to get on the right window.
Rain. Decades
Consistent
of rain.
rain.
Heavy rain just to return to normal, okay? It took 2 years. 5-6 years later, records.
Record levels. Huh.
Record level. Here's something I want people to understand. If you were wrong about this, and you told the rest of America in 2012 and 2013 that they were all unequivocally wrong, if they didn't wholesale 100% accept your premise, you chastise them. Well, where are we now? Lake Superior is already near record high levels. By May could reach a record that was set in the mid-1980s. Lake Erie could reach record highs later this spring. Lake Michigan and Huron also expected to be much higher, much higher than historically normal levels. It only took a few years.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back at this thing. God damn it. So I the only thing I can say is that you didn't actually show us the thing. He went longer and harder. No, we're not gonna read that sentence. Oh, you're playing WoW? Well, good on you. I've never liked WoW, but good on you. WoW has just never been my thing. Let's talk about WoW before we talk about Steven Crowder, because that's a much more interesting topic. I tried the whatever free. WoW is free to play now, right? Or at least the beginning of it is, right? That I tried the beginning of it, whatever the hell it's called. This was years ago. And I remember I was one of the undead peoples. I don't know what they're called. Ghouls? Ghasts? I don't know. And I remember, like, I was in the starting area and I was doing some of those stupid, like, go kill 5 of these pig things for a challenge, whatever. And get experience points. And I was like, I'm just going to wander off for a little bit. So I wandered off and I made it to this tower. And on top of this tower, there was, like, this lady kind of imprisoned. I was like, oh, well, this is kind of neat. There must be something to this thing, right? And I was like, so I kind of looked around for, like, a switch or a thing to do. And I was like, I can't do this thing. I can't, like, there's nothing I can do here. So I headed back to the town, and then when I got there, the same lady that was stuck up in the tower, trapped in a cage, was there with one of the exclamation marks to start a quest, and I was like, and that's when I stopped. That's when I was like, this game is dumb. Sorry, if you like WoW, good on you. But that's when I was like, I can't do this game. This is really silly. Obviously, I went somewhere where I wasn't supposed to go at the wrong time. And the game couldn't fix it. It was just like, no, here's the same thing, the same person you just saw in a cage, but she's out here waiting for you to start the quest that will eventually get her in that cage. And that's when I quit. That's when I just kind of got done with that game. Time is just fluid. So that's me. That's my opinion. If you're gonna play a good MMO, Guild Wars 2 is fantastic. That is my favorite MMO. Guild Wars 2. I do like it. It doesn't have this problem where if you do a quest without like starting it first, it like doesn't know what to do with you. If you do a quest by accident and then like trigger it, like you can do funny things, like if it's like, oh, you have to murder person X or whatever, right? And you murder person X, but then you go start the quest to murder person X, it'll be like, oh, you already completed that quest because you murdered person X before you got there. And I think that's a much better way to make games. That's just, again, yes, good is relative. That's just my opinion. That's why I could never get into WoW, but I got into Guild Wars. If you love WoW, that's good on you. I'm just an asshole on the internet, so don't listen to my opinions. Okay. Okay. Time is always fluid and gaseous. It is. All right. So, God, what did you say? You said something. You said fuck. What did you say, Steven? Something dumb. I'm certain of it. Oh yeah, you never showed me the goddamn study that you're talking. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're just like, some senator said a thing, and I listened to the senator, and then the senator was wrong, therefore climate change is wrong. Is pretty much been your argument. I don't know. Don't listen to senators? I feel like I should. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you that the senators are idiots, and you probably shouldn't listen to them. Like I feel like it's a thing that I don't have to say as a sentence, but we are. So you know. Ugh.
To get to significantly higher than normal levels. And I remember this because I was in Michigan, and my grandmother-in-law, 96, has beachfront property that's been in the family for decades.
Beautiful place.
And they were saying, "Oh man, remember they said, oh, there's the beach now. You can see it. You can see how far out it is. It's all used to be covered in water." And then the water level rose so much they lost their beach chairs.
Ha ha ha! Anecdotal evidence about a thing that a senator said. Ha ha! You're terrible. Please stop comedianing. Don't listen to senators that show that they know enough to listen to scientists. Exactly. It would be nice, right? It would be nice if you had, especially in this clip. Like I can understand, right? Like I do live shows, and I suck at citing things. I try to cite them, but it happens, and I don't. And like I think earlier I was talking about a meta-analysis of climate change science, right? And I can't. I could potentially grab it and link it and show it to you. But instead you're going to take my word for it. Hopefully not. But this video is obviously edited, Steven. This video is obviously like somebody went through this video and edited it. So there's really no reason why you can't have this study be part of this video. It's dumb. It's less dumb if it's live, right? Like, we all make stupid live mistakes. I make them all the time. I get corrected on them. It's fine. But this isn't live. This is an edited video of you, a clip from your show. Your editor could have easily have inserted the right study or linked it in the description. And I'm going to take a gander that it's not in the description. And all it is like, go subscribe to me on Facebook. But you didn't do that because you're a dishonest hack, and instead you listened to a senator, and then that senator was wrong. And it's senators are wrong because they're idiots. It's fine. Who is of the opinion that we need to fire everyone in DC and put new people in with who are experts at X field? God, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson has said this too. I got it from him. I think we need to, and it's a shame because it will never happen. But I think we need to have scientists, engineers, in be politicians. Actually, microbloggism isn't here, so I can talk to him about this. I can talk about him because we had this discussion a bit ago about how like microbloggism's video is all about science things. Videos and his channel is all about sciencey things, which is fantastic. I think it's great. And at one point we got talking about like, hey, I think you should talk about politics things because science is part of politics, or at least it should be. And it's a real shame, and he doesn't want to, which is fine. And like, it's his channel, it's not my channel, right? But it's a real shame because we need people who are smart and know science things to be more vocal in politics. We can't just have idiot senators and Steven Crowder be the voices when it comes to things like this. We need people who are scientists to say, hey, this is stupid, or here's what the science says. So it would be much better. I really do wish that more scientifically minded individuals like microbloggism would talk about political things because they have expertise in it. But it's his channel. So. Hey Gio, how are you? I talked about you earlier. I am super excited about the Mac release of Blood. I'm definitely gonna buy it. Okay. With that said, scientists should be senators. I think so. Yes. With that said, move on.
Everything was gone.
They're gone.
You also need to take into account that there's potentially more water being exported than ever before. At least that's what people thought, certainly in the last decades. Take Nestle, for example, for their bottled water. I think they funnel, 400 gallons a minute.
Oh, that's a lot.
From the Great Lakes. A lot of water. Okay,
lot.
400, and it's going, and it's not like, for example, at one point, if you had a well, or if you were taking water from Lake Michigan, you lived in Michigan, went through your filtration system, went through the ground, back into the lake. No, this is water that is 400 gallons a minute being taken out of Lake Michigan and shipped to Texas. It's not going back into the lake. Record highs.
Steven, you're not funny. You need to stop. They are too honest to do politics. That is a very good point, Dora. That is a very, very good point. That is the problem with trying to get scientists to do politics things is you can't be an honest person and do politics. You really can't. At least not be successful at it. And I'm going to go with big politics, senators, congressmen, presidents, kind of stuff. I think local governments, you'll find people who are far more honest and just kind of want to better, things. But besides that, I'm not sure. Hello, Bjorn. How are you? I'm off work tomorrow. Oh, that is awesome. I wish I was off of work tomorrow. I'm not. Shame. But, good on you. Government-based government. What you need? It would be nice. It would be very nice to have evidence-based government. That would be great. But no, we don't. We have. I don't know what we have. I genuinely don't know what we have, but that's what we have.
Guys, by the way, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed on YouTube, because apparently notifications, subscriptions don't mean a whole lot. Bookmark the page. Join Muggle, bladderscouter.com/Muggle if you haven't already, and subscribe on iTunes. Give us a rating. Here's the thing. Americans who believed you, and of course the people who you didn't, those are the select few you didn't admonish. Their economies largely revolve around the Great Lakes. This is what's, so when you say levels will undeniably continue, and I'm just trying to present.
Who? Fuck you, Crowder. Is he sped up, or was it not him? That was him. He subscribed bells, websites, do things. He's I think he's of the Ben Shapiro school of thought, where if you say something really fast, people think that you're serious about it. It actually works. There was a fun facts about R&D. Because I have a degree in Rhetoric and Discourse, which is hilarious, right? It actually turns out that if you talk really quickly with confidence, people think that you are right. So that's a thing that Ben Shapiro obviously abuses the shit out of. And I think Steven Crowder is trying to get it into the same Ben Shapiro game of talking really fast with far too much confidence in their own ideas. So these asshats are sovereign citizens? No, these asshats are climate change deniers. They're science deniers. You know what? You're not climate change. You're a full-out science denier at this point. I'm Southern. I make people slow the heck down. You should. Except the British interviewers, apparently. Yes. Oh, God, let's talk about Ben Shapiro and how he got fucking destroyed by the BBC. I was fucking Eric. That was the best. He had an interview with Al something or another. Fuck, I forget. It's on the Twitters. It's great. I probably tweeted about it like several times when it happened. He had an interview with the BBC, and he got destroyed by very simple questions. It was fantastic, and it was Andrew Neil. Thank you. We want to watch. Why didn't we watch that video today? That would have been a great video to watch. Bilu is here. Hello. How are you, Bilu? Yeah, no, that was a fantastic video. God, Ben Shapiro, you're such a fucking joke. Yeah, he stormed out. So he got asked questions. So this is what happens when Ben Shapiro doesn't show up on the Dave Rubin on the Rubin report, right? He doesn't get interviewed by Dave Rubin, who constantly Dave Rubin, you're pathetic, who constantly like sucks him off. And instead you get interviewed by, an actual journalist who asks you questions about your positions, and then he just stormed out, and it was the best. It was fantastic. Bilo doing well, drinking Garbalaxian wine. Ooh, good stuff. Good stuff. We're drinking California wine. Nice little Pinot. It is delicious. Okay. With that said,
with hopefully a little bit of understanding here. When you say level,
oh yeah, I forgot. You took the word of a senator. You're an idiot. You should have looked at the research, and then you would have been less of an idiot.
Undeniably, undoubtedly continue to descend to record low levels due to climate change, and exclusively climate change. They have to plan their seasons for things like more erosion, less underpass room for waterway bridges. They have to plan
what is this? Mibiz. Some of the current problems range from property loss to damage related to erosion along the coast of connected inland waterways, to greater congestion at beaches as the water levels inch ever higher, possibly affecting tourism and economy. Okay. What is this? A state of flux. Great Lakes water level variably leads to uncertainty of coastal areas. Variability. This again, Steven Crowder. This isn't a live show. Like, I know that you did a live show, right? And I know that this is a clip from a live show. This video isn't a live show, which means that your editor could have had an opportunity to have stuck to the claim that you are making and posted it on here with, like, here's the peer-reviewed study. And instead, he decided that the best option for this was to have I'm guessing a news article from Mibiz that says that water variability leads to uncertainty in coastal areas. This has nothing to do, right? Your whole thing is low water levels will destroy, or the claim is low water levels will destroy the economy of cities, towns, or whatever near the Great Lakes, that they have to worry about erosion and stuff. This article doesn't even say that. This article says that water level variability is different than low. Variability means high and lows. That it's the high and lows that is going to destroy. According to the article that you're showing, they're saying that the highs and lows and how it varies between high and low, it's what's going to hurt the economy of these coastal towns. They're not coastal because they're fucking lakes, right? But that's just the California and me being angry about it. That is what they are saying the problem is, which does not at all match up with what you're saying the problem is. You can't even show an article that backs up what you say. God damn. I need more beer. Okay. A journalist who asks questions. I'm shocked, I know, right? Well, that's because he's used to being on Dave Rubin's show. Ugh.
Extensive dredging of harbors, city engineering comes into play. Not to mention the private businesses, they have to adjust their business models based on your projections of shorefront, water cleanliness, all of that. The same can be said, by the way, for climate change alarmists on farming and the crop yields in the Great Lakes area, which have had some record great yields as well.
They should have just been honest from the very beginning and taken the cautious approach and said, hey, something is happening. We do have record low levels right now. We need to figure this out, and we need to be cautious. And instead, they went way over and said, oh my God, they're going to disappear. Right.
Who said that? Who? What peer? We're getting in a hand-fapping territory. We really are. Who? Steven Crowder. Who? Stupid guy with glasses. Who? Stupid guy with backwards hat. Who said this? What peer-reviewed paper are you talking about? What scientist are you talking about? You've shown a senator, one senator. You have shown you've shown one senator who has said something about the Great Lakes and about how low the water level is. That is the extent of evidence that you have presented, is a single senator, not a multitude of senators backing him up, not a law, not a whatever fucking senators do to agree with each other. Nothing. You have shown one senator who has said that the Great Lakes are getting low. That's been your evidence so far. Not a peer-reviewed paper that turned out to be wrong. Not a group of scientists who made a prediction and it turned out to be wrong. No, that's not at all remotely what you have shown. Because you know that those things don't exist and all you have is a fucking senator. Hand fap.
It's going to
but
end.
Here's the thing. The important thing is that it didn't happen. It didn't happen. We're
And
at
it
this
doesn't
point now.
mean, and I get it, doesn't mean that all climate science is bunk.
No.
That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But what you do need to take into account here is that people base their lives on your projections. And
Whose projections? Steven. Whose projections? Steven. Some random senator's projection. God, I'm repeating I'm gonna just listen.
it turned out that none of it was true. You painted a doomsday climate change scenario. Farmers, city planners, taxpayers, they believe none of it was correct. So you can't just admonish them now. You can't just look down your nose at them now and say, "Well, I can't. Why wouldn't you believe us, you silly bumpkin?" Well, because of you. I don't believe you.
You lied last.
Who I want to skip I want to move on from this video. I feel like I say that a lot lately, but I'm also repeating myself a lot because the only answer to Steven Crowder at this point is who. It's who Steven Crowder, who has said these things. Steven Crowder, what scientific paper did you get your information from? What's your source? You don't have one. You just have somebody said it. Somebody, I pretend, said it, and that's who, and they were wrong. The pretend person inside of Steven Crowder's head said that the Great Lakes should be empty by now, and they're not, and so therefore we shouldn't listen to the real people who say things.
Last time
You don't
probably
believe
lied
science?
again.
No,
This is
not
like
all
the Fire
science,
Festival
just
all over
you.
again.
Yeah, it is the Fry Fest. This is Fry Fest too.
I mean, like,
Or
Fire Fest.
I believe science. I don't believe politicians because
Good. Steven, give the dude with the beard a fucking and a beanie. God, don't wear beanies inside. It's stupid. But give the dude with the beanie and the beard. Go give him your job, cause he's so far the only one who said anything reasonable on your show, which is don't listen to senators. Which is maybe not take scientific advice from senators. Maybe senators are their job is to be senators and not to be scientists. Maybe that's their job, Steven. And you shouldn't listen to them. You listen to the bearded man.
I mean, what exactly has the left not tried to claim is because of climate change? Legal
That's true.
immigration, refugees, climate change. Muslims raping people in Europe, climate change.
Yeah, they're
There's
hot.
Terrorism, ISIS,
Fire
climate
Festival.
change.
climate
change,
change.
I love all these great examples with fucking references to where they are, right? This is hands out thermite to everyone. Just remember, never mind. Don't get bearded man. Bearded man's an idiot. Don't give him anything. He's an idiot. Oh god.
Climate change.
So it didn't turn out to be true with the Great Lakes, but you know what did turn out to be true, by the way? Energy plants being closed and
Yep.
tens of thousands of jobs lost due to government manipulation, price fixing, goods and commodities. There were taxes levied on all Americans disproportionately. By the way,
Yeah.
disproportionately affecting the middle class as well. When
Yeah.
you talk about a lot of these so-called green taxes, this is something that I think you would do well to listen to instead of Now we've crossed this bridge.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, you guys have to plan for this. We guarantee you 100%, no doubt, record lows are going to get worse due to climate change. None of it is true. And this impacted economies, and tens of thousands of people lost their job.
I don't even know.
At this point, you'd be better off saying, okay, well, maybe we were incorrect, but recalibrate. Instead, what the left continues to do is just say, well, the science is settled, as you see.
Yeah.
Who? Hey, there's a who. I said who. There's a who. We're actually going to listen to somebody. I don't know who this person is. Trump buries climate change report he doesn't believe. I don't know who this, but let's see if we can actually find out who this is.
It makes me feel frustrated because, again, you can say I don't believe in gravity, but if you step off the cliff, you're going...
Catherine Hayhoe, Director of Climate Science Center in Texas. Okay, finally. Something fucking cited.
...down. So we can say I don't believe climate is changing, but it's based on science that's over 150 years old.
It requires a whole system of people's research.
Okay, again, Tyson, he was, right? He's a roller, but the science promoter, not a scientist, but whatever.
All leaning in the same direction, all pointing to the same consequences. That's what we have with climate change as induced by human conduct.
Do we use the same, by the way, same temperature measurements as they did 150 years ago?
Probably
Seems
not,
to me
yeah.
they might be a little bit different.
We're not
as
wrong over
opposed
Steven. Should we look this up? We should look this up. Steven. Steven. When was fucking that was dumb. That was incredibly dumb. Temperature. Temperature. Celsius. What do we use in America? We use Fahrenheit, right? We use Fahrenheit. Why not? Fahrenheit. Where does Fahrenheit come from? No, I just want to know where Fahrenheit comes from. That's all I want to know. Okay, because you're an idiot, Steven. Fahrenheit scale. This, you know what? Because I've been bitching at you, Steven, for fucking an hour about how you don't cite anything. I'm gonna try to pull it up on screen too. But while my browser gets up there and it kills my computer, let's do a little bit of reading from the Wikipedia page on Fahrenheit. The Fahrenheit scale is a temperature scale based on the one proposed in 1724 by Dutch, German, Polish physicist Daniel Gabriel. So that's 1724. So let's look at what's today's year. Today's year is 2019, right? So let's have Google do some math for us. Hey Google, what's 2019 minus 1724? 295. So the Fahrenheit scale, Steven, the Fahrenheit scale has been around for 294 years. Did they measure things differently 100 years ago, Steven? No! God! My computer froze. I hope that everything didn't die. This is incredibly painful. I don't want a Steven no more. I know. I will look up Celsius in a bit. Oh my goodness. I'm just absolutely baffled that Steven thinks that the temperature was taken differently. Sorry, you are having buffering issues because I opened up my browser and, old computer. Hey, I have an old computer. If you would like to help out making these streams not be so shitty, because R&D has an old computer, feel free to super chat me. Also, patrons, you are awesome. Thank you for helping me out with all the things that you do all the time. You are amazing. And if you would like to help me out with getting a new computer, donate. You get free boobs and you get to help me out, which I appreciate. Okay, so let's grab this, and just to show you, because only because I've been giving Crowder a really hard time about this. Will I show this? But here's the Fahrenheit thing. So there it is. Fahrenheit is a scale proposed in 1724, 294 years, 93 years ago, whatever the hell Google said ago. So this weird ass idea that Crowder has, that somehow we were taking temperature differently in 150 years ago is kind of bullshit. Kind of bullshit, Steven. Kind of bullshit. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, with that said, let's see if we can get a little bit Crowder. God damn. What new computer are you gonna get? Backup on audio. Pics are really slow. Yeah, sorry about that. Honestly, it's entirely because I have a really old crappy computer. It's not crappy, but it's just not made for streaming. So I'm working towards, if you can see on the top there. Can I get the fingers right? Nope, got it wrong. That side. We are working towards a new computer. It'll be one of the new Macs, which just got upgraded. One of the new iMacs just got upgraded, and I think they're like 6 or 8 cores, I forget. Now with some extra RAM and whatnot. So I think I'm gonna go with the 8 gigs of RAM, and then upgrade the RAM myself. So yeah, but if you would that's what we're aiming for. That's what the goal on the side is. Oh, God damn it. That's what the goal on the side is there for. So if you'd like to help out, again, super chats, free boobs, and you get to help out the show, which is always great. We were using cruder instruments. That is the one thing. Yes, we were using cruder instruments. I'm sure they did not have a digital thermometer in 150 years ago, but they were still measuring temperature the same way. So that's fine. It's fine. Whew.
To accusing people of being science-denying bumpkins, how about you admit that you screwed up? And in the case of the Great Lakes, you screwed up on one of the big ones.
Did we? Who did? Who did? Steven. God, I'm so angry at you, Steven. Who screwed up? Who did this? Was it Senator Dick over there? Yeah, he probably did. He's a senator, not a scientist.
Okay, that's a big deal.
It's a Great Lake.
Literally.
There are several
Literally
of them.
one.
Many Great Lakes. You screwed up many lakes of greatness. By the way, the people who lived through the timeline in its entirety, these people lived through the projected terror, the uncertainty, prepared for the doomsday scenarios that you projected only to come out of the other side and to see that they would have been completely unscathed if not for you. You're the one who scathed them. They don't believe you anymore. Instead of insulting them, you need to earn their trust back. And I know many of you in the climate change alarmism camp claim that it's not your job to convince anyone because of scientific consensus.
Maybe he was using Crowder instruments. Maybe. God.
But in this case, I would say that actually the burden of proof, absolutely, given the previous climate models, given the previous predictions, I would say the burden of proof absolutely rests squarely on your shoulders. Not because of polls or consensus, but because of several observable and expensive life-costing hypotheses that proved to be completely untrue. In other words, because of science. Okay, if you...
No, because of fucking Senator. God, you're such an idiot, Steven. Because the senator got something wrong, and I'm sure that the senator got something very wrong because he's a senator, and I know this might be news to you, Crowder. Senators aren't scientists. A senator's job is not to study climate change. A senator's job, I don't actually know what their job is at this point, honestly. But it's not to do science. Fucking A. Perhaps Crowder forgets that humanity is not very good at predicting risk. Yeah, that's fine. I can see that. Jelly, how's it going, peeps? Hi, Jelly. How are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the... I'm done. Hey, Brightside, we finished the video. We got free boobs. It's not worth it. Senator's job is to Senate. There we go. Senator's job is to Senate. Okay, we get free boobs for getting through this giant mess of a thing. Oh, God. I would have much rather, honestly, at this point, I would have much rather if we had picked a Flat Earth video. Because at this point, God, this was just no fun. It was no bueno. I don't like it. I did not enjoy this video. I did not enjoy this stream. The wine was good, but I did not enjoy this stream because you made my head hurt, Mr. Steven Crowder. You have made my brain hurt a whole lot. Okay. We get free boobs for finishing a video, which we rarely do on the stream. I say that, even though I think the last, like, 2 weeks in a row we've finished videos, so I obviously don't know what I'm talking about, so that's a thing. Okay. I get extra boobs for coming in just in time. Exactly. 1 through 36, we'll have Google pick a number for us. Hey, Google, pick a number between 1 and 36. $32. And Bajorn commits. Thank you. Won't get a whole lot of computer, but it's stepped right in the right direction. I am not a stranger to boobs. Oh, you get a butt one. Oh, you got butts, which is fine too, right? But thank you. Wouldn't be complete without them. Thank you very much for your commits. I do always appreciate your support. It's always amazing. Get Seeks. What are Seeks? I don't even know what they are. But thank you. You are very generous, and I do always appreciate your support, my friend. So we got 32. So those are boobs. Thanks to Bjorn. Good thing. I probably pronounce your name wrong every time. Bjorn, got us some boobs, and then for finishing our wonderful video here, we get these. So yay us. We finished the video. We did a good. Oh goodness, it was all just a little too much today, I swear. So the only good thing that come out of this stream, is this lovely wine. Thank you, NPR, for this lovely wine. Oh goodness gracious. So with that said, I know we have like 10 minutes left in the show. I don't know what to do with those 10 minutes. We could sit here and just sit here and just talk about things that aren't Steven Crowder, or we could just be done. This one needs to be reversed. I know, right? That's actually yeah. I know. I hear you. But you know, it's YouTube. All right. With everything said, I think we're just gonna have to end things early, just because it's an awkward time, and we finished the video and whatnot, and we can't just we just can't continue. So we're gonna end it there. Thank you again, Bjorn. That was amazing. Thanks for hanging out. This one needs to be Ben Shapiro getting. We want to watch Ben Shapiro getting owned. I don't know if I have it, but you know what? I've already opened up my my browser, so at this point, like, my connection's just gonna die regardless. See, like, every time I click a thing, it dies. We can go watch Ben Shapiro getting destroyed by the BBC, which is hilarious. We definitely can do that. I'm sure that I will not get a Ben Shapiro BBC. I'm sure that I won't get a strike for this, but it's a good interview. It legitimately is a very good interview. The interviewer did a fantastic job.
Ben Shapiro, you're followed.
What's your name? Andrew Neil. Andrew Neil did a great job. So things to note about Andrew Neil, because I think these are important to point out, is Andrew Neil is a conservative. As far as I know, he's a conservative. And I point this out not to rag on conservatives or anything, but because Ben Shapiro calls him a liberal, and it's really funny. And Ben Shapiro, and even Ben Shapiro himself was like, "I was wrong to call you a conservative. You were wrong to do this interview because you got you got owned. You got destroyed, my friend. Where are you? Chrome Ben Shapiro. There we go. All right. So we'll see if we can get the video right there. Okay. So this is Ben Shapiro versus Andrew Neil. It's a fun video. The best thing, he got owned by right-wing show. He got team kills so hard. He really did. Yeah, fair use. We are gonna go with fair use. We're gonna listen to it. I might have to pause a lot more often than I want to, just because it helps kind of to stop the bot from finding out that this is going on. So we might like that one. Dude is like a climate change denier and has one hell of a hate boner for Corbyn. Yeah, no. Andrew Neil is not. He's not some like liberal hit. Like that's not his job. He's not a liberal out to like destroy Ben Shapiro. He is genuinely just an interviewer who did his job. But Ben Shapiro is such a little wimp that he can't handle it. Right? He's so used to Ben Shapiro is just so used to having being on the Rubin Report that he doesn't understand that actual honest journalists ask you questions, ask you tough questions. They don't just sit there and agree with everything that you say, and that's what Andrew Neil did, and Ben Shapiro, being the wimp that he is, couldn't fucking handle it. Okay.
By millions of people online and on social media. You're one of the biggest names in American conservatism. What is it you think you're tapping into?
Idiots can't claim shit without being countered. It's true. He hired a Holocaust denier to sow Neil's a trash person, but good. He does actually know what a journalist should do. He does actually know what a journalist should do. Again, this Ben Shapiro, who I'm sure will never watch this video. This is what happens when someone actually interviews you, rather than, God. I almost want to show this video too, if you haven't seen it yet. The one of the last Dave Rubin interviews with Ben Shapiro, where he like, God, Dave Rubin, you're so fucking pathetic. Where Dave Rubin is like trying to get Ben Shapiro to come to his like anniversary party, and Ben Shapiro is like, no, you're gay. And I mean, this is a fucking douchey ass thing to say by Ben Shapiro, to be like, no, you're gay, I'm not gonna go to your party. But at the same time, like, Dave Rubin, you have a homophobic friend who doesn't even like you, and yet you keep pretending to be his friend, and it's really sad and pathetic.
Well, I think that there are a couple of things. One, there is actually a hunger for different ideas. The monolithic nature of the United States media.
Oh, you gotta talk about ideas. I love this to talk about ideas. We're gonna talk about ideas, guys. Talk about ideas.
It's pretty evident in terms of its politics. People tend to agree on essentially the liberal point of view and increasingly a radical leftist point of view in the media.
This is, and I'm not a political science expert. So the Overton window's a thing. Most Americans are fairly liberal, and it's just the fact that centrist and right-wing people are pushing this, like, oh no, we have to be in the center thing. But most Americans are at least more liberal than you think they are, because they agree with things like a living wage and universal health care and whatnots. It's not like you make it sound like you have Americans are like centerish, rightish, right? You make it sound like that, and then you have that terrible media, and they're super left, and they're pulling all these centrists to the left. No, Ben. Most people are fairly left. Most people are okay with things like gay marriage, unlike you bigoted asshole. Are okay with things like, gay marriage is cool. Trans people are cool. Hey, maybe we shouldn't have a war on drugs that's extremely ineffective and ends up costing more money than it actually saves. Hey, maybe we shouldn't put people in prisons because they have a dime bag of weed in them. Yeah, most people are reasonable and slightly to the left because of that. It's you and your little cohort of friends who are to the right, and are just like, gotta clutch those pearls about the fact that people think differently than you, and the way that they think differently than you is to be a little bit more liberal. Americans can't deal with the fact that Europe people are far less willing to deal with people talking out of their ass. It's just true. Centrists just move along with the right, pushing them towards fascism. And when this ad is countered, guess he falls back on free speech. Yeah. It's free. Oh God, I hate the free speech argument. I truly do. It's been such a thing lately that just because you have a consequence to your bigoted nature, right? So you say bigoted things. Who was the person who was banned? Paul Joseph Watson, right? Paul Joseph Watson was banned from Facebook recently, like last Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. He was banned from Facebook, and instead of realizing that it's a private company, Facebook, doing business, and not wanting to be associated with him, and not wanting to be potentially sued by because so just broader story. Paul Joseph Watson works for InfoWars. InfoWars has this lawsuit right now by parents of Sandy Hook victims who have been fucking harassed for years now because of InfoWars' misleading claims about, Sandy Hook being a red flag or whatever the fuck, right? Like not being real. They're getting sued. And I'm pretty sure Facebook sees this, right? Facebook sees that InfoWars is getting sued. And they're like, you know what we don't want? We don't want to be sued by a bunch of parents because some asshole on our platform decided that it was okay to share that the next or the last few or whenever the next a school shooting happens is fake. We don't want to be sued by them. So let's just get rid of this one guy who is bad for our business. Instead of seeing it as, Paul, you are bad for business, he sees it as his free speech being trampled on. And that's not at all what's happening. Your free speech, you still are fine. You're fine. Welcome back because his rhetoric was tied to terrorism. Yeah. No, that's what happens. You have a right to say whatever you want, right? In the U.S., you have the right to be a bigoted asshole on the internet. You don't have a right to not have consequences for being a bigoted asshole on the internet. It's really that simple. If you're going to say bigoted ass shit on the internet, there are going to be consequences for you being like that. And one of those consequences might be that you get banned from a platform that you really like. Too fucking bad. Don't be a bigoted asshole. It's really that simple. Okay, we're actually gonna skip ahead to watch Ben Shapiro run away like a little bitch. So we can end the stream on Ben Shapiro running away like a little bitch rather than the whole interview because we ate up some of that time.
It would be nice if you would quote it from time to time.
Your book is, well, actually, I've done so several times, and I'm about to do so again, if you would let me just finish the question. Your book claims that society is turning its back on Judeo-Christian values.
This is a fantastic question, and I'm going to repeat it only because Ben Shapiro is talking over Andrew Neil here. But the question is, Ben Shapiro, in his book, says something along the lines of Americans are turning their back on Judeo-Christian values and whatnot. And Andrew Neil asks him, "What are those Judeo-Christian values?" And this is fantastic.
Yeah,
what are those values? What are the values it's turning its back on?
I'm not inclined to continue an interview with a person as badly motivated as you as an interviewer. So I think we're done here. I appreciate your time.
All
right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and for showing that anger is not part of American political discourse. Now, Mr. Shapiro, we'll say goodbye.
Little wimp. You're such a little bitch, Ben. You're such a little bitch. People who yell free speech don't even tend to have any substantial theory of speech. They really don't. Yeah, so here's Ben Shapiro whining like a little bitch. And because somebody asked him, what are the Judeo-Christian values that America's turning their back on? Ben, you said that America's turning their back on Judeo-Christian values. What are those values that is being turned? He legitimately asked you a very good interview question. You are so pathetic that you just ran away from it. You're such a little bitch. And I love it. I love this video, this interview. And if you haven't watched, and go watch it. I don't think I'll do it, but I don't think I'll link it, or I don't think I'll show it, but I'll link it in the description. I'll try to. Go watch this interview. The interview is fantastic. Andrew Neil, as much of a douchebag as he may be, he's a good interviewer. He asks Ben some really good questions and Ben just can't handle it. And it's fantastic. Deplatforming is not the same as government interference. It's true. It's entirely different. You don't have to. You don't have a right to a platform. You just don't. You don't have a. Facebook is not a civil right. It just isn't. Neither is YouTube. Nothing. None of this stuff. Okay. So with that said, I think we're gonna end it there with Ben Shapiro running away like a little bitch that he is. Thank you everyone for being here. I really do appreciate it. Thank you Bjorn Cummins for your super chat donation. I'm gonna try to update the computer thing for next week because we do have some extra new things that were added by people. So thank you very much. Look forward. I say look forward to, but I'm not sure about that. Look forward to a video maybe this weekend. I'm gonna try to get it done on rationality rules and his nonsense. I don't want to talk about it. And probably talk about it next next Saturday. But thank you everyone for being here. Thank you Bjorn for your donation. It was fantastic. You all have yourselves a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you all next time.